Welcome to today's explainer. Okay, I want you to picture something with me. Imagine you've just hired a brand new intern. They're incredibly talented, right? They read at superhuman speed and they literally have an answer for absolutely everything. But they have zero real-world experience. And occasionally, they just confidently make things up out of thin air. You wouldn't just toss them the keys to your business and walk away, would you? No way. You'd coach them. You'd double-check their work. Well, as a senior consultant who spends all day looking at how teams actually use artificial intelligence, I'm here to tell you that intern is your AI. So today, we're going to calibrate your AI judgment skills and learn how to really optimize its performance using systematic feedback loops. Let's get into it. Here's our guiding principle for today. The key is that AI handles the volume while humans handle the nuance. Honestly, this perfectly sums up our evolving role in the modern workplace. See, AI is absolutely fantastic at churning through mountains of data, screening those initial documents, and spitting out rough drafts in seconds. But you, the human professional, you have to remain the ultimate gatekeeper for accuracy and context. If we just blindly trust whatever our shiny new machine intern hands us, we're going to fail. We absolutely have to steer the ship here. Here's our roadmap for the explainer. First up, the AI reality check. Number 2, spotting common AI errors. 3, the 4-step feedback loop. 4, the task risk checklist. And finally, creating a blame-free culture. Let's jump right in.
Section 1, the AI reality check, bursting the myth of perfect AI.
We really need to stop treating AI like it's some kind of infallible magic wand. It's powerful, sure, but it will make highly confident mistakes. And here's the crucial point. Venting or making one-off complaints to your computer monitor achieves absolutely nothing. I know it feels therapeutic to sigh, roll your eyes, and delete a terrible summary, but if you just delete it and move on, the AI learns zero, nothing. Your workflow doesn't get any better. Building structured, systematic feedback loops, that's the literal difference between constantly pulling your hair out over unreliable outputs and actually thriving with a tool that gets smarter about your specific needs. That brings us to Section 2, spotting common AI errors, diagnosing the symptoms. Before we can fix the machine, we kind of need to know what a broken gear actually looks like, right? So let's talk about the most infamous AI failure of them all, the hallucination. This is when the AI confidently claims something that simply isn't true, or just wasn't anywhere in your source material. Let me give you a concrete workplace horror story. Say you're reviewing a candidate. The AI might completely fabricate a claim that they have 10 years of experience or boldly state they know Python when the interview notes never even mentioned it. We've literally seen AI invent company names, generate fake academic citations out of thin air, or just make up highly specific statistics just to prove its point. It is a very confident liar, and we have to catch it. But hey, hallucinations aren't the only symptoms we're looking for. We also have misinterpretations. This is where the AI might take a super sarcastic comment from a client and take it completely literally, totally missing the human nuance. Then we have omissions, which honestly are arguably more dangerous because you just don't know what you don't know. Like, imagine the AI completely forgetting to extract a candidate's biggest key accomplishment from a 10-page transcript. Huge problem. And finally, watch out for bias signals. This is when the AI sneaks in bias through gendered stereotypes or age-coded language, like randomly deciding to describe a younger candidate as energetic and hungry to prove himself when nobody ever actually used those words. So what actually goes into our reporting strategy? Well, we definitely want to capture and report those hallucinations, biases, and omissions we just talked about. But, it's equally important to know what not to report. If the AI refuses to make a hiring decision, or if it says, hey, I can't assess bias here, do not report that as an error. Why? Because that's an intentional safety guardrail. It's working exactly as it's supposed to. We want the AI to pause and ask for clarification rather than making those final, high-stakes human decisions for us. Which leads us to Section 3, the 4-step feedback loop, the cure. Now that we know how to spot the symptoms, we actually need a system to fix them. And here's the operational meat of our framework. It's a simple 4-step continuous improvement cycle. Capture, categorize, analyze, and act. Let's walk through these together and see how they can completely transform a frustrating tool into a highly reliable asset. Step 1 is capture. And listen, precision is absolutely everything here. Just typing bad summary on a feedback form, that tells your team nothing. Capturing requires precise context. You've got to note exactly what went wrong, like hallucinated years of experience, where it happened, the specific tool you were using, and what the actual business impact was. You want to keep those reporting forms short so people actually use them, for sure, but the data you collect has to be highly specific. Once you capture the data, you categorize, and analyze. Take a look at this. Based on actual pattern recognition data from teams doing this well, we see that omissions frequently make up around 30% of issues, while hallucinations sit at 15%. Categorizing these errors is like putting together a giant puzzle. It allows you to spot vital patterns across your whole team. Instead of just complaining about isolated glitches around the water cooler, you actually start to uncover the systemic root causes.
Which brings us right to step 4. Act. Let me throw a coaching question your way. If you see 5 errors of the exact same type with the exact same tool in a single month, what do? Will you take action? You might need to go in and improve your master prompts to prevent the error, or maybe add some human constraints to the workflow. You might even realize a specific tool is just fundamentally flawed for that task and switch tools entirely. Or hey, maybe the tool is fine, but you just need to train your team on best practices, like, remembering to redact personally identifiable information before prompting the AI.
Moving on to Section 4, the Task Risk Checklist. Evaluating task risk versus AI capability. Now we need to practically match up the tasks we do every single day with the right level of AI reliance. Think of this as your daily task risk checklist. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is this. If you are spending 30 minutes trying to fix an AI's incredibly poor assessment of a document, you're using the tool wrong. Assessing is a human judgment call. Instead, you've got to adjust your workflow. Let the AI extract and organize the facts, which takes it, 5 seconds, and then you handle the complex assessing. Just remember these golden rules. Use AI to draft, not decide. Use it to generate options, but you make the final choice. And always start with low-stakes tasks first.
And if you actually follow this framework, the results are pretty staggering. 80%. That is a concrete success metric right out of our source data. Just by making explicit prompt adjustments, like actually commanding the AI to extract only explicitly stated information and do not infer, teams have reduced hallucination errors by 80%. That is huge. You have the power to drastically improve the reliability of these tools, literally just by tweaking your instructions.
Finally, we've reached Section 5, creating a blame-free culture, from process to people. Look, I can give you the most brilliant tracking spreadsheet or automated workflow in the entire world, but the best feedback system is going to completely fail if your team is terrified to report their errors. Reporting a mistake when you're using an AI tool is not a personal failure. We have to completely reframe the conversation to, hey, we found an error. How do we fix it? Actually finding a flaw in the AI's output is a massive win for institutional learning. It means you're actually paying attention. You caught the intern's mistake, and you were doing your job as the expert gatekeeper. So to actually build this kind of culture, you want to follow a few core principles. First off, make reporting ridiculously easy. Keep the form short, zero heavy bureaucracy. Nobody wants to fill out a 10-page form for a minor glitch. Second, and this is absolutely crucial, close the loop. When someone reports a hallucination, tell them the timeline for the fix and let them know when you've updated the master prompt so they actually feel heard. And lastly, celebrate that learning. Publicly acknowledge the folks who catch critical AI issues before they turn into real-world client disasters. To sum the whole shebang up, every single error is an opportunity to improve. Organizations that have mature, responsible AI practices, they don't hide from the machine's flaws. They systematically build around them. They capture, categorize, analyze, and act. And by doing that, they create incredibly reliable workflows that are going to easily outpace the competition. I'm going to leave you with one final thought to reflect on as you go about your day. If you implemented a structured feedback system today, what hidden patterns and errors would you uncover about your current AI use? Something to think about, right? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.